Welcome to Lanlera in County Louth near Dunleer, just outside the town here for the TG4 Intermediate Football Championship Group 4 game between Down and Offaly. The teams are here, but only the Down team is out on the pitch. You might see them there over to the left, and they are doing their drills before the game, whereas Offaly have gone into the dressing rooms. There is one change we'll come to in a minute when we go to the actual teams, but first of all I'll talk about the conditions, because you maybe see on the far side there's a tricolour over there and it is blowing quite violently, so there's quite a strong wind from right to left. Really looking forward to a good game though. The pitch is fantastic, as it always is, and Kiva Morgan's with me. Kiva, you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, really looking forward to this game, Jerome. As you say, the pitch is in great condition. Probably the girls will be happy enough that it's not too warm. That wee breeze might help in terms of keeping them a wee bit cooler when things get hot and heavy.
And it could get hot and heavy because it's championship, and I heard the manager of Offaly saying earlier on to his team, you know, this is where it starts, this is the road to Croke Park, forget about the league, this is what it's all about. So he's getting them up. There should be an intensity to this game.
Of course, it's championship football. This is what everybody trains for all year. Yes, the league gets you a chance to warm up and get your things in order, but championship's where it's all at.
What about yesterday? You watched a few games yesterday. Armagh had a good win, and I was down at the Dublin game against Tyrone, and Tyrone did really well in the first half, but I know Armagh was close. Meath ran Cork quite close as well, so a few interesting games, and Fermanagh eventually overcame Leitrim after a bit of a scare as well, so this is where it all starts.
Oh, totally, and it's fantastic to see championship football being played at the intensity that it was in those games yesterday. Great for our games, showing the preparation and the hard work that all the ladies teams have put in, especially, you know, with COVID and all the things that have been in our path over the last while.
Right, let's look at the teams. Let's get down to that. We're looking at the Down team warming up, but we're actually going to look at the Offaly line out first, and I spoke to them a short time ago, and there are no changes, so they play as selected. So the Offaly team that will come up on your screen, there it is. That is the Offaly team. I can tell you, I can pick out a few of the players there. You have Annie Keogh is the captain from right fullback, right cornerback, and at number 4 you have Emma Corker in there. Now she'd be one of the more experienced players, and when I say experienced, well, she played in 2013 when they won the All-Ireland final, and that's what, 8 years ago. So she's one of the longest servants there, along with Maria Daly at number 13. So those two players go back to there, but very young team, as a lot of them are these days. I mean, as exemplified by number 12 there, Ciara Walsh. She's only 18. She's never played a competitive senior game for Offaly, not played in the league at all. So she has come in today for her senior debut. So that's the Offaly team. Let's move on to the Down team. And very interesting here with Kate McKay in goals. I'll come to that in a minute and explain more about her being in goals. But elsewhere in that team, there's one change, because number 8, Aoibhinn McCarville, is not playing. She's listed there, but she is not playing. She's replaced by Una Lavery. She'll come in, and she's wearing number 25. She's from the Carrie Duff Club. So a change there, and a bit of a blow there for Down, because she was player of the match in the Ulster final a few weeks ago, although Una Lavery is a very capable player and has played in there anyway. So that's kind of it. And if you look at tactically there, you would imagine Megan Doherty plays as a sweeper. Niamh Scullion will probably drop in quite deep, and Aoife Laverty will probably drop into the half forward area, which leaves 2 full forwards in there, Natasha Ferris and Orla Swale. That's the way they tend to play, but there could always be a surprise. Now, that's Kate McKay. That is the Down goalkeeper, but she's not really a goalkeeper. She has played a bit there before, a couple of years ago when they had a bit of a problem, and she went in there, but she was a captain a couple of years ago. She's more known as an outfield player, but she is helping out today because the goalkeeper from a few weeks ago is not available today. So she's gone in there, more than capable, very, very good goalkeeper, very, very good player. And your thoughts on that, Kiva?
Well, look, you know, it's no surprise that you're saying, you know, she was captain. It says an awful lot about her character that she would step into that role. Extremely difficult to play goals. I think it's one of the hardest positions on the pitch. You know, you have to be a certain kind of person to play that position, but obviously she's, you know, doing what's right for the team here today.
I suppose more though these days, you know, if she's able to read the game, come out, intercept, catch the ball, distribute it well. I mean, you see players like in Sligo, Noelle Gormley went into goals after playing up front for a lot of time. You probably marked her a few times, but she turned out she's a really good goalkeeper. You know, it's her positional sense. I suppose goalkeepers would maybe say, well, is she good at getting down low into the corners?
Yeah, look, you know, it's not the traditional goalkeeping roles that we would have looked at years ago. You know, you can see even the stature, the physicality, and, you know, the general makeup of a goalkeeper now. They're far more agile, and if they're a good kicker of the ball, and I'm sure that's what their coaches had been telling her, Jerome, that, you know, don't be worrying about it. You know, you've played, you know how to kick the ball out, you know generally how to man your defence and things like that. So that's the kind of thing she'll be working on.
Looking at Offaly, we're going to pick out Maria Daly now, number 13. As I said, she played back in 2013. Fabulous player over a number of years for college, club and county. Her dad is actually the manager, Gary Daly, and she's from the St Ryna's club. But the interesting thing is she's come back from 2 ACLs, which is an awful blow to a young girl at that age, you know, to come through. But she's back now, and we all hope that she comes through in flying colours. It's always very difficult, obviously, to come back from something like that. But it's great to see her back, and it's great to see her on the team.
Fantastic, Jerome. Says an awful lot about her. You know, 2 SEL injuries. The only other person I know kind of with that experience is my sister Neve, and you know, she came back, makes him a very, very strong person, very, very determined. Another similarity with her is, you know, with her dad managing her. I've had that experience as well, which can be lovely and can be terrible at the same time. But I would say
tell me more about the last bit.
Plenty of times we were going home in the car, and there was a lot of fallouts. But Daddy would always say, and I wouldn't have bothered, Keith, if I didn't think you were worth it or didn't think you were going to make a good player. So I suppose I can't really say much about it now.
And was that with the sisters in the car as well, all of you?
When I first started out, he took the county, so did an awful lot of work with Armagh, getting them, you know, kind of more professional and that thing. So they weren't there yet, but then he did manage the club, and they were all there. So there's plenty of silent car journeys home, Jerome.
Well, he'd be outnumbered if the 3 girls were in the car as well. Out in the middle of the pitch there, you see the referee Paul Burke. He's from Louth, so we didn't have too far to travel today, and it looks like the Offaly captain Annie Keogh has won the toss. I might be wrong about that, but I saw her pointing there, and that could be significant, Kiva, because that would mean that they'd be playing with the wind in the first half. And the last time we were here, we played, it was down against Meath. We were doing commentary, you were here as well, and I remember that it was blowing a gale as well. The weather was terrible, and it was a game of 2 halves, as they say. So Leisha Duffy there from Breda is the captain of Down, and she's out there, and indeed, if that is the case, do you think that'll be significant again? Not quite as bad as maybe the last time we were here.
Gosh, the last day was like a tsunami, but still quality football was played. Look, I was always told when you're taking the toss to always play with the wind to start, because it could die down, plenty of things could happen. So, you know, that's smart play by Offaly. Could have an effect on a burn on the game. Sometimes it takes people a wee while to settle into it, but if they know from the start, you know, maybe to kick ball in and to use the wind, then it could be effective for them, yes.
Well, if you remember the last time Meath played with the wind in the first half, no, against it, did they? But I remember there was very close at half time, and we sort of thought the team that had done well in the first half, but they sort of tired. They put so much effort in defending.
Yeah, look, that's what it's all about. You see, you have to be tactical and, you know, address those issues. So if you know that the wind's blowing down the pitch, you've got to talk about it. You've got to talk about what's the best tactic to play. Maybe they might change it a little bit, you know, as to what they were going to do. Maybe it's not as many runners on the ball.
There's a bit of rain here actually in Louth today, so a bit of a drizzle, and it's coming into us in the commentary position, so probably won't do any harm, and might make it a little bit slippy out there, but it's not heavy or anything like that there. And players sometimes maybe they like a bit of rain and sort of get the gloves on and get a good grip in the ball, no?
Yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes a wee bit of a greasy ball with a greasy surface means that, you know, you will have to think about putting gloves on. You'll have to think about you know, what kind of ball you're putting in, maybe in defenders, especially for tackling, because sometimes when the ball can slide along the ground with that little drizzle, it can be quite hard.
So we're not far away from the start of the game, and in fact Paul Burke, the referee, has just blown his whistle as if to say, right, let's get it on. But the Down team are still going through quite a vigorous warm-up there, and they still have their poles out there on the pitch, and they're going right up to the wire on this one. I guess that's the way they do the warm-ups these days, Kevin. It's
like a mini training session here, but management want to raise the intensity so that you're going into the match having really probably played 5-10 minutes off a match in your wee training warm-up. So I think it's a good way to start a match, because it means you're ready to go when you step onto the pitch.
Yeah, game situations, is that the phrase that they use now? And you know, there's no point doing these long kicks across the pitch or shooting in. That's what you need.
Yeah, because you want the physical contact. You want one-on-one. You want to be able to, you know, say, well, I've got a good tackle in there, or, you know, I've been able to push someone out of my way, that kind of thing.
Well, what about the absence of Aoibhinn McCarville? I mean, you were on co-commentary a few weeks ago in Newry. She was player of the match, scored 4 times from play, and I would imagine Offaly watched that and have probably done their homework on that, and probably are thinking, how do we counter that? And now they're finding out at the last minute she's not playing, so they'll have to adjust a little bit.
They will have to adjust. A wee bit of a blow for Down, but I'm sure, you know, with the management they have in there, you know, they played without her for a while as well, so they'll understand, you know, what way they're going to play and set up their team. I thought she was phenomenal the last day. She did so much work, and I'm sure Offaly would have had someone man marking her today. But look, it's not meant to be, and Offaly will have to do maybe a few quick wee changes, because that's another thing that you need to talk about, Jerome. It's very important that you don't focus on the other team too much. You stick to your own game plan, you work on yourselves first, and then you adapt to situations.
Okay, that's good information for us from someone who's played the game and who knows it. We just talk about it, but you've actually played it. You've been there. That's why you're here, to let us know those kind of things. What's going on now, do you think? Because you've been in those huddles, or those areas out in the pitch, not quite a huddle, but they're having a chat before the game. What's it like here just before championship? Is it different to, say, a league game a few weeks ago?
Yeah, there's definitely more butterflies, there's definitely more nerves. You know, this is what you're training for. We talk about championship, it's, you know, it's All Ireland Championship Day and you want to give it your best, so it's trying to keep those nerves calm enough that you don't make too many mistakes, but that you're raring to go.
The referee's getting a little bit impatient. He's blowing his whistle quite a few times here to get them in, but that's a sign of it too. You know, you see sometimes managements and they're going to hell with them, they'll wait a minute. In fact, I think it was a game the other day, I was told there was team 10 minutes late getting started, but sometimes the referee will not wait. It looks like he's getting ready to throw the ball in, there's nobody ready. So Paul's getting a bit impatient, and we do understand that as well. So we need to get underway with this game. It is 1 o'clock, it's exactly 1 o'clock, so he wants to start on time. We have Down off to the left there, you see them in the huddle, and you see the management team in there giving a few last words. The players all putting their hand in, up, down, as they shout. And there's Kate McKay going off to the left down to the goals, and they are indeed going to play from left to right. So I'd imagine Kate will be under a fair bit of pressure in the first half, and you know, Offaly will probably want to test her and get those balls in. But tactically, Kiva, will they go, do you think, for the high ball, quick ball in, or do you think they'll try and work it?
Well, if they're smart and they've read the wind here, they'll probably go for a couple of high balls in. But look, Down are at the advantage where they have Megan Doherty there, and she's such a natural reader of the ball, and she plays a natural sweeping role and can mark as well. She's
actually lining out at midfield, Megan. I know that might not be where she stays, but she's starting going for the throw-in certainly, and Paul Burke, the referee, is there, and Aisling Cull is there as well. So it's not the 8 and the 25. They lost Aisling McCarville. So changes for Down around the middle of the pitch there. I wonder, was that caused by the loss of Aoibhinn McCarville? We will see, but the midfield pairing does really well right from the throw in there. Doherty gets it to Cull, and they're both carried off players, and I was very impressed by Cull in the Ulster final. Actually, she set up a goal with a lovely pass. She's a really nice playmaker, so that could be a nice combination in there, Kiva.
Yeah, it could be a very nice combination. You know, players that are used to playing well together with each other, and they have a little bit of a, what I call the telepathy thing going on, can really help a squad.
Now Down with a lot of the ball in the first minute or two. They get it out to Orla Duffy, who's the sister of the captain Leisha Duffy, and there is Leisha. She gives it to her sister and the captain, and it comes back to Aoife Keown. Offaly patiently sitting in there and then biting when they got the chance, and they went in and they have forced a turnover. They've done well there to dispossess Down. Sorry,
Down playing patiently there, but maybe being a wee bit too lackadaisical, you know. Offaly were able to come in and get a good hand in there.
And I see way off camera Megan Doherty has dropped right into the full back area as a sweeper for Down. But here comes Amy Gavin Mangan for Offaly, the number 9, driving through, and Down immediately retreat. Passed around the hands quickly.
I think she was thinking about shooting there, maybe, Jerome, but
yeah, she just got in. Well, maybe they've been told to shoot from distance because there's plenty of room there, but that's the case. That's an example there of what can happen. The ball seemed to be carried with the wind and ran a little bit beyond the corner forward there. Number 15, Grania Egan, and she wasn't able to collect it, so Down have it. So Down have a bit of experience of this venue. I don't think Offaly would have played here that much, if at all. Egan there shoots right away and shoots to the right and wide. So yeah, that might be into. We didn't talk about that, but you know, Down have a knowledge of the venue. They know this game, and they've played in similar-ish conditions here as well, so it'll be a little bit more familiar to them. I mean, it's supposed to be halfway, but I would imagine Offaly teams from down that way haven't played in Lanlera too often, whereas Down have played there a few times recently.
Well, those things do help your preparation because you're more comfortable and it's more familiar to you, and when you're thinking about all the good things that you did on that pitch.
Aoife Keown for Down tries to drive it into the forwards, but I think she was looking for Duffy or maybe beyond that, but it was easily intercepted and the wind held that one up.
Yeah, Offaly seem to be playing a lot of people behind the ball, Jerome, so Down would need to think about maybe playing more to the wings.
Tara Dunn there, number 5 from Edenderry, gets it up towards Egan. Egan didn't get it at the first attempt, but gets it at the second and feeds it back out to Marie Byrne. And Marie trying to get a little bit of room, but there is no room there, but the referee sees a foul and gives the free to Offaly, and that could lead to the first score of the game. And Marie Byrne, by the way, plays in Laois with the St Conleth's club, as does her sister Nicole, who is in the subs today. The free will be taken by Roisin Egan from Niamh Kieran. She's one of 2 dual players in the squad, and the Niamh Kieran club, by the way, supplies 4 players around the middle there. They're from the Ferban area, and you have Roisin Ennis, Roisin Egan, Amy Gavin Mangan and Emma Maher. So 7, 8, 9 and 10 all from that one club, so they'll all know each other and their games very well. First score of the game to Offaly. Don't expect this to be a high scoring game anyway. That's a good kick out and good running as well by Keown to get into a little bit of space, and well picked out by McKay, the goalkeeper. Number 7 is Kim White, gets it to Lavery, who's come in at the start of the game for McCarville, and this is Cole now. And Cole, nice little trick there, moving the ball around her back, held on to it anyway, but the ball not sticking too much in the full forward line at the minute for Down.
Offaly are very lively, full of energy is what I would notice here, Jerome.
And certainly in the defensive area there, yeah, they've been sharp to turn the ball over. That's 3 times they won the ball that has come in.
Yes, they've been very good at that, and playing for each other, always an option to give it out to in defence.
And this is Doherty to Keown, and Down being allowed to build from the back. Duffy now. And yeah, you're right, I mean, Kiwi, you can see the pressure there from the Offaly players trying to get in there quickly, and that's Tara Dunn trying to get in there, but can Down get in behind them now? It's always tricky against the wind, but Orla Duffy is there. She's got Cull on the outside. Her sister is just on the inside. She'll go to Cull. Cull might come back to Leisha Duffy, but no, she's been marked. So Cull then plays a nice ball across field. That's what I was talking about earlier. She did that in the Ulster final to good effect, and that time she gets it to, was it Ferris? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Ferris, and Ferris pops it over the bar, and that's the first score in the game from play, and a good score, Kevin.
Very good score. Aisling Cull is very, very comfortable on the ball. You know, she's never going to lose it. She looked up, she took the right option, and she played it into Natasha. It was a lovely score.
And that's against the wind. Oh, and that ball just dropped over the head of Keown, but Keown did really well to recover and win that one back. That's good play, and that's what you need. You need to win possession, obviously, from the kickouts, and then they get to the playmakers like Cull, and that's a lovely ball from Cull into the full forward area to Orla Swale from the same club, from Carryduff, and she gets it back now to Lavery, also from Carryduff. There's a lot of breed on Carryduff. I think there's maybe 8 or 9 if you include Kim White, although she plays out of St Sylvester's but has played for Breda. So they're the big representation, the outer Belfast clubs, if we can call them that, providing more than half of the team. But the move came to nothing, and now it's Offaly's turn to break, and that's good play by the full forward Aoife Carey, and she lost her marker quite easily there and spun away. But look at the amount of down shirts that have got back already. They have outnumbered the forwards, and they're keeping them out of the danger area, the scoring area as they call it. But Byrne is still there and gets on her right foot and shoots, and that looked dangerous, but McKay coped with that very easily in the end.
Yeah, that's great from McKay altogether there. Really, really strong in the goals there.
And quick to move in.
Very quick to move, yeah. So she's shown her agility there, and that'll give her confidence.
Roisin Egan for Offaly. She has support off the shoulder, and that's Egan. And you see there what I was saying about they just can't get into the scoring zone at all. They're having to shoot from distance, but that might not be a problem, and it is not a problem for Roisin Egan. First score of the play for Offaly, but very clear what Down are doing in there. But
that was excellent of Offaly to adapt there, because they were hitting Down were slowing them down, they were having to turn and come back. But you know what, try something different, I'll shoot from far out.
And that makes the defenders think a little bit, doesn't it? It makes them come out a bit.
It's a nightmare for defenders, yes.
You're smiling about that, you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
You've been there.
You're happy when they just keep flying on and trying to get in past the defence, but when they try something different, then you're like, oh no.
Offaly win the ball from the kickouts, and they'll be encouraged by that score. And the ball played into the right corner forward area, but it's actually number 6 there, Dawn Hannon, and Dawn gets it back out, but the Down players outnumber them in there.
A little bit of wayward hand passing there, and Offaly have won the ball back.
And another free in there, so Down will be a little bit concerned that Offaly are now taking scores from distance and winning quite a few frees. They need to be disciplined in there. There's no point having a lot of numbers in there and giving away frees.
Well, as a player, you always say you're going to have to wait for a few minutes to see what the referee's going to play it like. If he's going to call things like that, well, then you have to be more disciplined.
Egan got one a minute ago. Can she double her tally? Looks good from here, but I'm watching the umpires. No, it's actually gone wide, so it remains 2-1. Yeah, I'm interested in your defending career, by the way. I was thinking last night, I'm going to throw this to you at some point. Who are the best forwards you ever played against?
Valerie Mulcahy, Gemma Begley.
Oh, hold on, let's go back to the play, because here's a chance. It's Ciara Walsh, and she plays it through to Egan, and there is the first goal of the game. And that's a blow for Down. They were caught there, a mistake at the back, and Offaly have capitalised right away. Walsh, who's only 18, making her competitive debut today for Offaly, was quick as a flash onto that, got it over to Egan, and she doesn't miss from there.
Definitely not. That was an excellent goal. It's Offaly's tenacity and their
winning the kickouts,
yes,
like they've just done again, and this is setting them up now, and there could be another score here, because it's Maria Daly going through, and she looks like she's going for goal, fires it over in the end, and there now you see Offaly getting into their stride, and Down having problems from the kickouts, and all of a sudden it is 1-3 to a point.
Offaly are just more lively, you know, they want the ball a little bit more. You can see, you know, Kate's taking a wee bit of time here to get the ball and get the kick out, maybe to try and reset Down here and let them settle a little bit.
Well, here's Kate trying to kick this out, and around the middle there's a lot of Down players all in the same area, whereas that ball again has gone straight to an Offaly player. They have read it well, and they've just sat, and it's dropped into their arms really, really easily, and they get another free. So all the pressure seems to be coming from the kickouts. So you would have thought that it had been working at that during the week, or maybe it's just Offaly, as you say, just seem a little bit more alert. Now Alicia Duffy has come back there and won a free, and they've managed to turn it over, but they're creating problems for themselves.
Look, the kick out is a really major thing. You know, you build from the kick out, and if you can't win your own possession, it's extremely difficult. And I've been in situations where that has happened to me, especially at a couple of Donegal Ulster finals. We just couldn't get the kick outs out, and it's very demoralising. But players have to move for the keeper. You can't just stand around and do nothing.
Well, Down now going for the quick approach. That's a couple of quick passes up into the full forward area, but that's 3 or 4 balls that have gone up towards Swale, and only one of them has stuck. And that's no criticism of Swale. It's a compliment to the Offaly defence, because as Kiva says, they just seem sharper all over the pitch at the minute. Maybe it's easier playing with the wind and a little bit of a drizzle behind you as well, and Down are just not getting into their stride yet. Oh, that's fabulous play there by Daly. She just bursts through and fires it over. That's a little bit easy at the minute, if that's the word.
That is the word, Jerome. Very easy. Offaly are able to play the balls into space. You know, and maybe Down are backing off a little bit because the ref was giving those frees away. I don't know, but they're going to have to find a different way of slowing Offaly down.
It was actually Marie Byrne, I think, who got that score, number 11. Her and Daly look a little bit alike from distance, and it's hard to see the numbers. The numbers are similar, but I think it was Marie Byrne who fired that one over, but she just burst through and got the goal a little bit easily. And Down will be demoralised that they give away the goal really cheaply, you know, from a short kick out that didn't work. And that demoralises you as well. Now the Offaly captain is getting in on the act. She's wearing number 2, but she's all the way up there, and she's helped set up this move, and it could be another score, but it's actually gone to the right and wide. She just snatched a little bit at that, but again, Offaly doing all the attacking, driving it down.
What I'm noticing here is that Down are very flat-footed, so Offaly, being so lively as what they are able to sidestep or just go through Down, so it's quite difficult for them at the minute.
So what do they do from these kickouts? It's interesting tactically. If you can see on the camera, you can see all the Down players around the 45 there. They make their moves at the last minute, and that didn't work for the goal. It's worked on this occasion though, because Keown has managed to get it, and this is where they want to get possession and build. So,
well, this is where you see leaders step up like Aoife Keown. That's who you want to get on your kickouts, because she'll not lose possession.
Down keep breaking down when they get around this area here. They can't get it together at all around this area. Now, that looked like a tough challenge there. The referee says it's okay, and there the ball spins out of play, but let's go back up the pitch and have a see what's going on there, because the Down player is down. Well, she's up at the moment, but she's struggling a little bit. There was a collision there, and the referee is going to go and see that she is okay. But maybe it's just difficult playing into this wind. Kiva, we're up here in an area that's protected from it, but there is a strong wind down there. Maybe Down are just finding it tricky, and there's a bit of rain coming into their faces as well, or is that too easy an excuse?
Well, look, you can see the flag is fairly blowing there. You know, it's hard to get kickouts out against that breeze. So maybe going with the short option here is the right thing to do.
And that's what they're doing now, yeah. They've got it to Cara Cunningham, and they're trying to build, but they only seem to get so far. But let's see where they get this time. They're going across the pitch, and look at the pressure being put on there by the Offaly forwards, in particular Grania Egan there. So Offaly not giving them a moment. Now it's Lavery. So they're playing this short game, and it looks very intricate, and the pressure is such that it looks like it could break down at any second, but this is better from down.
But there is a wall of Offaly players. There's about 5 players there standing in front of Natasha first when she had the ball.
Down captain Leisha Duffy trying to do something about that, but she's 3 or 4 players in front of her, gets onto her left foot and shoots from distance. That's much better. She did it all herself, and that's a super score from the captain, and that's exactly what Down need.
Much needed score, and that's how you lead. That's what you do as a captain. You step up and you settle the ship. She did really well there.
The rain is getting heavier, and it is dropping into our commentary area as well, and we're having to wipe the lens on the camera there to give you a clear picture, but it's sort of when Down attack down at that end, so the camera problem does not come up when Offaly are on the attack. So that shows you where the rain is going. It's going from right to left, and the wind is going that way, and all the play has been going that way, but there is Megan Doherty intercepting, and that's better. Now it's Duffy, and Duffy gets past her player and gets it back to Doherty. And you see there the ball slipping, and Megan not wearing gloves. Quite a few of the others have, but it's a sort of game now we're definitely going to need gloves, I would imagine.
Yeah, she would definitely need gloves, just that wee slippery surface on the ball.
And a free awarded there for the foul on Aoife Laverty, wearing 13. She plays around the half forward area. We saw her in the Ulster final out that area, creating a score for Swale, I remember in particular, a goal.
Down have to be careful because they're waiting an awful lot on the ball, and Offaly are just coming in and maybe taking it off them at times.
Now it's Cole. And Cole put her hand up there, and the referee gave the award against her.
Well, that's a fair enough decision because you can't push a player out of the way, you know. So
I suppose it sort of happens during the game. It's a natural sort of reaction, but yeah, I see what you mean. 13 is Maria Daly, and she speeds off past the fullback Ciara Byrne, and the referee will bring it back for a free. And you see there, Kiva, as well, the Down forwards are very quick to turn and run at the Down defenders, and they're drawing frees all the time.
Yes, so lively. You know, they're full of energy there, and she was able to roll on that tackle. She nearly could have got out of that if he had played the advantage, but I think it was the right decision there to give the free. And
I noticed in the 3 league games, Offaly scored 3 goals, 3 goals and 2 goals. I mean, they get their goals in. There were big scores in their games as well, so you would imagine there's a bit of confidence there among them. And this is an effort from distance. Oh, and it's hit the post. Oh, and it's dropped down in a dangerous area, but it's well read. You always fear as a defender that there could be a goal out of nothing, and Offaly have already got a goal out of nothing. Now there's good work by the Down defenders. I think it was White back there to win that and to quell that attack and get in there, and they outnumbered them, and that's good work by them. But Roisin Egan with that kick was unlucky there. It came off the post. Now Megan Doherty switched onto her left foot there, but the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be Amy Gavin Mangan taking the free, and that's a good quick free into Egan. Egan slips it to Roisin Egan, no relation, and she goes for a shot from distance, but it goes to the left and wide. So Offaly haven't scored for a while. They went up to about 1-3, I think, very quickly all of a sudden, but now we're at the water break, and it's 1-4 to 2. 5 points in it. Kiva Morgan, is that a fair reflection on what you've seen so far?
I suppose it is a fair reflection, but I think Offaly, you know, might be a bit disappointed that they haven't got more scores there. You know, they've had a lot of possession. Their forwards are working really, really hard to put pressure on Down's defence. There's nothing the defence hates worse more than when they look up and there's forwards trying to stop you. You know, that ball hit the post, Down got the ball, but they should have been able to work it out. You know, they're panicking a little bit in there, so they would need to maybe, you know, calm it down a wee bit to try and get the ball out. But yeah, fair enough reflection of the game, I suppose, yeah.
And what would be the Down feeling there? I mean, they've put in a lot of effort in the first 15 minutes, and they look a little bit deflated. They're 5 points down, and yet they've put in all that effort.
Well, as you say, you know, they seem to get up to the score and then tend to lose the ball a lot because, you know, they're not being more definite about their pass enough, and Offaly are coming in maybe at times and taking it off them. Playing the ball really well into the wings, and they're usually winning it in there, but then they're coming around the edge of the D and they're getting bottled up by Offaly. So they're going to maybe have to think about keeping it out and maybe bringing it in the byline a little bit more, because Natasha First can be very dangerous with the ball over the top there, getting it into the net.
Well, that's what Leisha Duffy did for the score. I mean, she took them on herself, but you feel that they're maybe missing Jessica Foy around the playmaker area. She's only back from injury and she's not going to be playing today, although she's listed in the subs. And Anna McKee's a fine player as well, but she's not going to be available today, although she is named there as well in the subs. So they have a couple of players yet to come in, so they could have done with a few players like that today. But the players out there are obviously fine players. We saw them in the Ulster final playing extremely well, so they've still got the ability and they've still got the second half to come with a wind.
Look, plenty of time, and the key is don't panic. You know, stick to what you're doing. And just keep building upon it.
And that's what they're doing now. Megan Doherty did well there to get it from the kick out. there's a Carry Duff axis up the middle of the pitch there. That seems to be working quite well for them, and they've worked the ball up into the forward area now to another Carry Duff player, Orla Swale. She gets it back to Lavery. I'm going to keep mentioning Carry Duff because they keep giving it to the Carry Duff players. And there is a spine there. You have Kate McKay in goals from Carry Duff, Megan Doherty at centre half back, Una Lavery midfield, Ashton Cole centre half forward. So there's a lot of those players and a lot of breed of players as well. But it's Offaly on the attack now, and that ball fired into the forwards, and when it bounces it flies past, but the referee has brought it back, so Offaly will get another crack at that. So there was a foul there, which has been awarded by Paul Burke, the referee. The sun's come out now, the rain has stopped, so it looks warm out there, and there's a little bit of a lull in the proceedings, and obviously not a huge crowd here today because it's a halfway venue. It's early on a Sunday and not that many allowed in, so we might have a big audience online, bigger audience online than here at the game. 14 is Aoife Carey for Offaly, and this is good play by Offaly again, and midfielder Gavin Mangan in there on her right foot, and this is what Offaly have been doing really well. They get the ball around the middle, take their time, and then they have the player running off the shoulder, and they're good from the finish. Just
what I was going to say, really, really good runners off the shoulder there, and she did very well to sidestep Megan Doherty, because that's not something you'd want to be really running into, so they've obviously worked on this.
And this is what Down are working on, these short kickouts there. They're doing that a lot, and you picked up on that, Kiva. They're doing that a lot more in the last 5 minutes or so. They realise that the long balls have been cut out too easily, and there's Doherty again, and this is the position that Down want to be in. They want to get up the pitch, they want to move it into that full forward area, and this is much better from Down. Can they get into the danger area now? They've got Cull. She turns without even looking and spins and kicks a fabulous point. That's the best score of the game from Down, from the short kick out all the way up, worked it well, and what a brilliant finish.
That was a fantastic score, great individual effort, and again made by Megan Doherty, because she is steady in the ship there. 1-2 passes up the pitch and a beautiful score.
And in contrast, the Offaly kick out is straight up the middle, and Doherty is underneath it, and I thought she'd lost it there, but she gets her free. A little bit fortunate.
Probably fortunate, yeah, but I'm impressed with her work rate here. She's working really hard when Down need her.
Yeah, she's a super player. I saw her in a league game against Roscommon a couple of years ago, and she was the key player in the middle, picking up all the ball, and she uses it really well. Now, Down buoyed by that score. Keown comes forward, and they look a little bit more confident all of a sudden, and Cole thought, well, I'll have another go, but she was a good bit further out and it was blocked down. But there might still be a chance here for Down. They might still profit, because Lisa Duffy is in there, 3 or 4 players around her, and she's got her free as well.
Well done there by Down, you know, working hard, probably a ball, you know, yes she did lose it, but then she'd no right to probably win it back, so that was a good effort there.
Does it show in those last 2 examples, Kiva, if you go down on the ball to try and win it, you'll get the benefit of the down?
Usually, yes, and the forwards always tend to get that, you know.
Oh, that's a poor miss there for Down. They really needed that, and that was right in front of the goals. Maybe she lost concentration there, maybe it was a bit of wind or something, but you would certainly expect to score from there.
I would have thought she would have scored from there. I can't comment on why she didn't, because I wouldn't have, but...
Yeah, well, I hope that doesn't come back to haunt them. That's 1-5-3, but hold on. The important thing for Down is that their tails are up and they're playing well, and it's not going to stop them going forward. But look at the amount of Offaly defenders back there, and Orla Whelan does really well.
Down really should have kicked the ball in there. The hand pass was far too slow. They're not moving the ball quick enough. Aoife Keown did really well to win it, but too slow in the build-up.
And that ball spills all the way through to Doherty. Full back, by the way, Orla Whelan for Offaly. She works for the Irish Air Corps, and she's from the Eden Dairy Club, and she's been playing really well. Great interception there by Emma Maher, the number 10.
That's what I mean about Offaly. They just have a little bit more zip with them, you know. They're quicker over those couple of yards, and Down are waiting on the ball.
Yeah, they move the ball well as well, and the support play is very good, but that ball has gone all the way through to Kate McKay, and she was quick to intercept and read that. And that's what you want from your goalkeeper, and it's maybe the benefit of an outfield player who knows how to read the game. But there's a turnover from Offaly. That's sharp play, and Roisin Egan is there, and they're trying to get it to the kickers. Oh, a nice wee look over the shoulder from Maria Daly. Fires it over the bar, had a wee glance one way and then went the other way. She fooled them there.
That was lovely. Really, really good near hand tackle by Offaly over at the corner there, but that was a lovely score.
I think they call that a look away in soccer. I'm not sure what it is in Gaelic. Haven't seen that too often, but yeah, she definitely fooled them. And a point there for Offaly, and it's 1-6-3. There's 6 in it. And you think Down have maybe done well the last 3 or 4 minutes, and all of a sudden there's 6 in it.
Well, there you go. You see, you work so hard, you need to be getting scores on the board. Things like missing frees, you know, you could rue those chances.
And there's a misplaced pass from Down that is going to go over the end line, and Offaly will try to profit from that.
You could say Down are forcing it a little bit, but then you could also say that Offaly are putting them under enough pressure to make them do so.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Offaly, I have to say. They've been playing really well, and certainly in defence, and the way that they counter-attack is really impressive. But they do have, as I keep saying, the benefit of the conditions. Whatever conditions are there are in their favour, so it's always going to be easier when you have the conditions behind you.
Yes, well obviously that makes sense, yeah.
Now, what can Down do? Aoife Keown's been all over the field in the first half, and she tries to get it to Duffy, but really close attention, and that's been a feature of the first half. The Offaly players really sticking to their players, but now Duffy speeds away and shows great pace. Now she's looking for an option here, I would imagine, and she gets an option from, is that Kim White all the way up there? It is. She gets it back to Duffy, and Duffy on that left foot isn't going to miss from there, and that's 2 scores from Duffy, which have mainly been her own work, fired over by the captain, and she's doing her best to lift this team.
Yeah, Kim White did really, really well there. She took off like a bullet from the middle of the pitch to support the run, so that really made that score.
1-6 plays 4, and Down have definitely had to work harder for their scores, but they have got them, and that's the important thing. And their tails are up, I was saying a few minutes ago, and they're still playing with plenty of confidence and plenty of optimism and confidence. And this is Keown again, who's been pulling a lot of the strings, and she gets it. Well, it's going to come in the end to Duffy again on this side. She's playing on the right, but she's left-footed. She's always looking to come in, and she comes in, and Offaly haven't quite copped onto that just yet, and she shoots low and tries to go for a score. She doesn't get it, but the referee had already signalled, and he's actually given a penalty. It's in the area, and that has been given as a penalty, so a foul on Duffy, and it was her who was fouled for the free a few minutes ago, and this, you feel, will be crucial, and it is Aisling Cole stepping up.
You know, the mark of a smart team and smart players is that you use the players that are on form, and they can see that Leisha Duffy's on form today, and they're trying to get the ball to her, and it's paid off.
And you see when a player is always trying to cut in from the right, it always causes problems too. The defenders aren't quite ready for it. 23.5 minutes gone. Down need this. Aisling Cull from Carryduff steps up on her right foot, sends the keeper the wrong way. Brilliant penalty. Down are right back in this. It's championship, and this is where it all starts. We get the buzz for the summer right now, and this is a game on.
That was a fantastic penalty. There was no mistake in that. She knew exactly what she was going to do there.
Yeah, she's a super player, and now the referee has penalised Offaly again, and Down in a hurry to get the ball. They move it quickly, but the referee's going to slow it down now. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there. It might have been the kick out, maybe didn't go outside the 21, was that it?
Yes, that was it. It was too short.
And the referee, Paul Burke, is very sharp, and all of a sudden, Down are right back in this game. In fact, they missed that free, and only for that the scores would be level, but they'll be delighted to be within a point.
They'll be very, very happy with that, especially going in at half time, you know, when you'd think they'd have the breeze in the second half.
And Offaly were coping so well, but all it took was a run from Leisha Duffy, and Down spreading it out to the wings and attacking from the wings rather than through the middle.
Yeah, Offaly goalkeeper didn't have really many options there, so that forced her to kick it out over the sideline.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, there's Duffy going for the ball again, and there's a free award and another free for Down. It's all going for Down at the minute. But if you think about it, you know, Duffy has dragged Down back into this game. I know it's not all just about her, but she scored 2 points and she's won the penalty.
She really has, yeah, and that's the mark of a captain there. She's worked really, really hard. Down haven't panicked. You know, to me, they haven't looked as though they've panicked at all here. You know, and they have clawed themselves back in nice and steadily.
And this could be an equaliser actually from Cull if she can drift that in, but that was a tough one to try and drift in, and she didn't quite manage it. But
hard for a right footer. You'd really need a left on that side.
Yeah, but I love the way she took that penalty. You know, I saw one yesterday actually, Niamh McAvoy for Dublin, and she hit it just side footed straight at the keeper, but that was a penalty today.
Yeah, it was powerful. There was no mistake in it.
I don't know if she's been watching the Euros or whatever, but she certainly put it away really, really well. So we're coming up to half time, 4 minutes to go yet, and Offaly would have been expecting and anticipating, I'd imagine, to have gone in with a bit of a lead, because it's going to be tougher in the second half if the conditions stay the same. But Down are the team on the up.
Natasha First played that really, really well. As a defender, I can understand that. She backed into the defender, which was excellent.
It's interesting the way you've become more observant and forgiving even, and you've adopted this role rather than playing actually out there. You can see what's happening out there, and you're actually giving credit to a forward for winning a free off a defender.
Well, it's smart play, you know. I wouldn't have been happy if I was marking her like that.
No. That's the third time I think Down have just, the ball has just ran out of play on this side from a down kick, whatever the reason is for that. But anyway, it's Offaly with the ball now. Roisin Egan is out there. Actually, that's Gavin Mangan as the other midfielder, number 9. And she's driving forward, and she's done that really well in this game, looking for a bit of space. But she cleverly instead disguises a little pass, and they're maybe looking to get a goal. But the ball across field has been easily intercepted, and all of a sudden it's Offaly who can't do anything right. And I think that was a inadvertent challenge there. I don't think she meant anything by that, but she did catch the down player. There's the rain has just picked up again here in Lanlear, and it's coming into us, so it's definitely coming into the players, and it's coming, I'd say, across the pitch as well, so a little bit uncomfortable out there. And the referee has indicated that I think that is for the clock to stop. Our clock will keep going, and then we'll add on a little bit at the end, but it's 27 minutes gone. And Offaly, as I say, Kiva, just can't get a break at the moment. And you know, they've scored, what is it, 1-6 now, but they were 1-3 after what, about 10-12 minutes. They haven't kicked on.
Yeah, the tide has just changed. You know, it's all Down now are dominating. I suppose Offaly would need to kind of settle it down a wee bit here and try and get possession of the ball and maybe get a score before they go into half time, but it's not looking likely. Yeah,
it's Down's possession game that is working. They're working the ball up the field really well, and that's what they're doing right now. Adair Trainer, number 2 from Downpatrick, on the ball, gets it to Duffy. And whereas the passes weren't sticking earlier on for Down, they definitely are now, because there's Trainer again, an example of the confidence that Down are playing with. She goes up there, and now she goes back to her position, leaves it to the forwards to try and finish it, but Down are buzzing. They're all over the place. And Cole there, well, she's I presume she was trying for a score there, but didn't get anywhere near it. But look who's there. Duffy's there again to win it, under the ball and on the right, the left foot. But what's the referee giving there? He's given a 45 possibly, is it?
Yeah, umpire seems to be signalling for a 45. Alicia Duffy did fantastic in there. You know, Offaly really should have been trying to get that ball out easier, and she was there to give them hell. So
the ball coming out to Cole for the 45, and Down will fancy levelling this by half time. I'm not saying she's going to put it over from there, but the way they're playing, they'll be thinking that they can level this, and that would be a great position for them to be in. Now Cole goes to, well, that's a great kick in there. This could be the equaliser actually. She gets it straight to Ferris, picked her out beautifully. Ferris read it beautifully, and Offaly just can't get near them at the minute.
No, Down have obviously worked on a 45 plan, as you would do, because Cara Cunningham came from the back to give an option, and when that didn't work, when Cole can put it in like that and for us to catch it, why not?
But Offaly don't seem to anticipate what's going on. They didn't anticipate Duffy breaking in from the right. Duffy also caught a ball a minute ago. She'd no right to win. Ferris caught that a little bit too easily. You'd be concerned from an Offaly point of view.
Yeah, they seem to have switched off a little bit here.
Referee not happy with that challenge, but it's a free for Offaly. Roisin Egan, and she gets it out to Annie Keogh, her captain from Tullamore. The referee says that's just a coming together, lets that go, but the ball not sticking there, and the Offaly forwards now, and the free given to Down. And I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or maybe the wind is actually making it difficult for them, but Offaly just can't get a pass together at the minute.
Well, you can see a couple of those Offaly players aren't wearing gloves on that greasy ball. It will slip.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's as simple as that. There's a turnover by Offaly as Down trying to come out of defence. That's what Offaly need to do more. Maria Daly did it really well, and
yeah, those quick reactions by Down to get back there, because Offaly had a free player right on the square there.
Yeah, they forced Egan to go backwards to Keogh. She gets it again. And there's a chance of a point on here surely for Tara Dunn, but she's forced to come back out, and the referee gives a free for a push on her. The Down players trying to be disciplined in there, but the hands were up.
Yeah, well, that's something obviously the referee, you know, isn't going to let go, so Down will have to work on being more disciplined there.
The way Down have been going the last 5 minutes, I keep thinking Down are ahead, and then I look at the scoreboard and it's level coming up to half time in added time.
I suppose in the first quarter Offaly had all the play, and then now it's Down. So
yeah, it's like a game of a half of 2 quarters. Is that the way we could put it? I've created a new cliche.
Wow. That's a good score though for Offaly.
Yeah, it just edges them back in front, so at least they can go in at half-time and say they're ahead, but they really would have expected to be much more ahead. They were 6 ahead, and there's a whistle for half-time, and they're only 1 ahead after all of that, and I'd imagine they'll be a little bit deflated there, Kiva, at the end of the first half, because they would have expected, as I say, to be ahead with the conditions, so down in the better place.
Definitely down in a better place. They seem to have come into the game a lot more. They've settled themselves, working a lot more ball in amongst those forwards and getting good scores off it. Offaly just seem, the balloons kind of popped. They're a bit deflated, not as energetic as what they were. Losing ball, giving ball away, kind of what Down would have done in the first quarter, as I said.
And a lot of decisions going against them, and that's not a criticism of the referee. Games can just go that way sometimes.
Yeah, look, you know, you create your own kind of luck in this, and you know the way you play, and they're giving ball like silly things that you wouldn't do, ball maybe to feet and not up to the person's chest, and maybe just panicking a wee bit now.
Yeah, they'll have to calm it down at half time. We're going to calm it down and go off for a few minutes and be back for the start of the second half. And just before we do, by the way, the other games today all start at 2 o'clock, so they're coming up. And those games are Westmeath against Longford, Wexford against Sligo, Roscommon against Kildare, and Limerick against Wicklow. But here in Lanlera, it's Offaly 1-7, Down 1-6 at half time. We'll be back for the second half. Back in Lanlera for the second half. Offaly against Down. Offaly a point ahead. And very interestingly, at half time, when you were all away getting your cup of tea, we were watching what was going on here, and Kiva Morgan's with me, and we were observing that the Offaly team stayed out on the pitch. The Down players went into the dressing rooms. Which would you have preferred to have done, Kiva?
I would prefer to go into the dressing rooms, and that's not because I'm lazy and I want to sit down, but I think more of an atmosphere can be created in the dressing room rather than standing out here on the pitch.
And Offaly were standing out a good 6-7 minutes in the rain without being talked to as such. They were just waiting and waiting.
Yeah, you know, and that kills the momentum, you know, any momentum that there was, or trying to raise players or get them up again for the second half. So I don't know, maybe this will have a wee bit of an impetus on how we start this match here.
Just to remind everyone, there's 3 teams in the group, 2 go through. So if you lose both of your games, you're out. Next week it's Down against Louth, and the week after Offaly against Louth. But you want to get off to a good start and secure your place. So it's up for grabs, and it's being grabbed in there in the forward line by Aoife Keown in there actually, and she's left it off, and the shot has just gone to the right, left rather, and wide. Good start to the half for Down, playing with the wind and using it right at the start. But there's 2 balls on the pitch for the referee, or the goalkeeper is saying to the referee, yeah, I'll get rid of that one and we'll get back out here. Now it'll be interesting to see how the Offaly strategy from the kickouts and the pressure being exerted from Down. And I see there that Eve Laverty, for example, is putting great pressure on the kick, and Offaly have gone a different direction.
Yeah, that was a good kick out by Lauren Dunn there. She found a really good pocket of space for Offaly to run onto.
Down very sharp though, the way they were looking as if to say we're really going to clamp down on these short kickouts, but Offaly got out, and there's a sub on for Offaly. Number 19 is in, that's Chloe Sheridan from the Clara club, so she's come in at half time, and there she is going for the ball, and she's got a bang right away. That was a very unfortunate collision with the Down fullback Ciara Byrne, and we hope she's okay, but that didn't look too good now. And
it's bad when it scares me, Jerome, but that was just 2 players going wholeheartedly for the ball there.
It was, oh absolutely it was, and it was a sub who's just come in, but yeah, just a collision with the 2 players going for eyes on the ball. Trying to see who actually has been replaced. I see Daly still in there, and Marie Byrne is still in there, and 14 Aoife Carey is still in there, so they've made a change Offaly at half time. And I wonder, is it the teenager maybe that they've taken off, the girl on their debut? Possibly number 12 Ciara Walsh, so that's possibly the change, but I'll confirm that in a moment. There is a Down substitution being made, strangely enough, after just a few seconds of the, oh actually maybe she's coming on for the player who's down hurt. That makes sense after all. So a little bit of concern here, and the physios all in there, and they're calling for first aid as well. And Offaly look to be sending in a player as well. So 1 change at half time for Offaly, and possibly a second right away at the start of the second half. And I see the Down player who is hurt seems to be on her feet and walking anyway, but walking off, and has been helped by Cara Cunningham there, number 4. So it looks like the Down player who was hurt in that is going off, and I'm glad to say the Offaly player is on her feet, but she also is walking as if she is going straight to the sideline as well, and that is indeed the substitute who came in, who I just spotted there. That was Chloe Sheridan, so she's only into the game and she's going off, but maybe they'll be patched up and maybe they'll be able to bring them back in again. So they've both got a facial bang there, but doesn't look too bad, thankfully. Yeah,
it's good to see them up on their feet, Jerome. There's nothing that, you know, would scare a team more if anyone had to be taken off or stretchered off, so it's good. It shows the mark of the players are strong.
Now the referee is going to hop this one, so that's stopped the momentum early in the second half. 25 is in there for Down, but of course that's Una Lavery, who's been there from the start. I'll try and pick up who has come in as the play goes on. In fact, there's a Down player racing in from off camera to try and join the action as the referee throws it up, and the number 5 for Offaly, Tara Dunn, got a hand to it, but it's broken kindly for Down, and Keown is there. Oh, and that's good play in there by Amy Gavin Mangan to intercept. That's good sharp play from Offaly. That's what they need. They get it to Aoife Carey, They're up against it in the second half, but this is excellent play by them, and there's a good burst from Marie Byrne, trying to get through the middle, but Doherty is there and blocks the way, but the shot still comes in and it goes over the bar from Marie Byrne. That's a super score from her, and that's exactly what Offaly needed at the start of the second half. They're 2 points up.
All made by Amy Galvin-Mangan, and doing things like Offaly were doing in the first half, coming in just that quick burst of pace to get the ball.
Exactly, yeah, that's what they were doing early on, so if they've got that back they'll be doing okay. And there's a ball dropping into Offaly hands, and there is the sub, Michelle Mann from Niamh Malays, doing really well there as well to get that ball up into the forwards, and all of a sudden it's Offaly with their tails up, and here comes Maria Daly trying to get in there, and she goes past 2 or 3 down players, fires it over the bar, and that's inspirational play by the daughter of the manager, Maria Daly, and that's a 3-point lead for Offaly. They've started the half really well.
They really have. Maria Daly a wee bit disappointed there. I think she was looking her goal, you know, so it shows the mark of the player that she is, that she's clinical in what she does.
Down actually have number 27 in there, that's Orna Kelly from the Breda club, so she has come into the game. Both teams have changed it at the start of the second half, but it's Offaly who have the momentum, and they look a lot sharper at this half as they did in this period in the first half.
Well, it could be a case for them that they're going to maybe dominate a little bit in the first 10 minutes here until Down get into their groove again.
Yeah, that's what happened before. I don't know how you explain that or how that happens, but it just seems to have happened. But it's Offaly at the moment with Daly again, looking to get on that dangerous left foot. Oh, the lovely ball through. There's a goal chance here for Egan. She fires it over the bar. The referee was going to bring it back. No need. Good score for Offaly, and they're now 4 up.
Yeah, great score for Offaly there. Maria Daly just did some really good direct running, made a good pass to a player running on to the ball, a great score.
Well, maybe that was a message from the manager, who is of course Maria's dad, at half time. You know, we need the big players to step up, and that's exactly what has happened at the start of the second half. And Offaly, after looking a little bit deflated, all of a sudden they look like the team that is sharp and that is aware of exactly what is going on, and we'll see what happens here. Yeah, there's close marking again. Now it goes beyond Cull, and the sweeper has read that really well for Offaly. That is their number 10, Emma Maher, the vice captain. She's done well there, and she gets it to Egan, and it's all Offaly. Off the shoulder, lots of support, their tails are up, they're flying, and they're causing all sorts of problems. They're drawing frees, they're taking them quickly. It's amazing the way ladies football games can change so quickly.
A difference from this half to the first half, Offaly are communicating an awful lot with each other. You can hear them talking to their players, supporting each other off the run and making themselves available for the ball.
And we were saying they wouldn't be too happy about only being a point up, but playing into the wind, which admittedly seems to have died a little bit, they've scored 3 points in a row, and all of a sudden now they're 4 points up, and that's a good lead to have, especially when you're causing so many troubles and you're running straight at them. Now she hasn't managed to draw a free there, Marie Byrne, but
it's good to see the benefit of the doubt went to Megan Doherty there, because I do think it was the right decision.
Kim White to Doherty, who's always available and will spread the play. Now Down need to get it going again, and they're resisting the long kick, but instead the short pass has gone astray. And Down just can't get going in this half, and Offaly are buzzing. This is good play by Aoife Carey, gets it to the substitute Michelle Mann, back to Carey, and it's as simple as that.
That all came from a Down mistake, a wayward pass there. I think that Down should really try and kick the ball a little bit more to try and make the transition a little bit faster into their forward line.
I mean, Offaly will be delighted. I mean, scoring 4 points in a row at the start of the second half after it looked like they were going to be up against it in the second half.
Yeah, concerning for Down here. They're going to have to try and do something to change this.
McKay gives it to Cara Cunningham. And I guess the lesson from the first half is, as you were saying, Kiva, at that stage, don't panic. But look, they can't get the ball to hand at all, and they keep making little fouls, or little mistakes rather. And Offaly really quick to capitalise, and really determined play from Marie Byrne, who's doing extremely well at the minute, bouncing off challenges, and they just can't get near her. And they're always having a few players available. Is she going to have a go from there against the wind? That'll take an almighty kick. It gets an almighty kick. That's brilliant from Roisin Egan. And Offaly are absolutely on fire at the minute.
That was great play there. My concern with Down here is that there's a lot of bodies there, but they're not actually pressing anybody. They're standing off their players and they're not putting pressure on.
I can't believe, and I'm sure Down can't believe, that they thought that they'd done all the work in the first half. They were a point down going into half time, and all of a sudden they're 6 points down, and that was the gap in the first half. And look at the pressure there from Offaly again.
Yeah, serious pressure being put on here.
And the Offaly sweeper I mentioned away off camera, the number 10 is Emma Maher, and she's just sitting in there as well. They've obviously thought in the second half we need her to sit in there, and they're just waiting for Down to come to them. But Down are being very clever, because Niamh Scullion now from Rostrevor is carrying the ball forward. That's the way to beat the sweeper. And now it's Ferris. She shoots right foot, and that's dangerous, and it's dropped into the net. I fancy she was going for a point, but it's dropped in rather luckily for them, and they'll take it. That's a goal for Down, and they're back in it. It's 112 to 2-6.
Yeah, Ferris really wanted that ball. You knew she was going to do something with it. She had the look in her eye, and she netted that fantastically.
Did she have a look in her eyes that to say she meant that, are you thinking?
Oh, yeah, I would agree, yeah.
All right, I'll ask her afterwards.
Okay.
She's a forward. She knows, oh, look, she's definitely on fire now, though, and all of a sudden the game is swung for Down. A goal and a point for Ferris.
Really lifted this downside here, and you can see, you know, Natasha's shouting there to try and rally the troops and get them up again here, and if they can pin the kick out in and get a couple more scores, then that will be Down on the up, I would say.
Oh, and there's a kick out going astray, and there could be even more here. It's Ferris again. Is she going to go round the keeper? She does, and 2 goals and a point in what, about a minute and a half for Ferris, and Down have gone from 6 down to 1 up. Incredible turnaround.
Yeah, and you can see Aoife Keown is now directing the rest of the Down players to push up.
Wow, and there's me bigging up Offaly the way they were so delighted, and all of a sudden they must be thinking, what has happened here? We're a point down.
But it's very exciting how a game can turn like that.
Absolutely, yeah, it's great, and it's good that it's unpredictable. I mean, a lot of the men's game these days is so predictable. If you get a 6-point lead, you know your team's not going to lose, but here it's very different. Now, Aoife Carey, number 14 for Offaly, and there's a pass going astray for them. Everything is now going wrong for Offaly, and you're absolutely right, Kiva Morgan. It's very exciting. It makes for great entertainment. We hope people are enjoying the live stream. I'm sure the managers aren't, and some of the parents and supporters watching it, but it is very entertaining and very interesting to watch. And it's Down completely on the up, and it's their corner forward Orla Swale out there, and you just see, you can notice like the tempo has increased, and all of a sudden the Down players are playing with confidence, and Ferris is just shooting every time she gets the ball. That one drops in to the goalkeeper Lauren Dunno, and she deals with that, and now it is Offaly who are being forced back at every opportunity and trying to just get out and sort of break down the siege, if that's the way of looking at it, and they've managed to do that, and they've got a free there, the foul, and the free awarded against Cara Cunningham, and the referee having a word as well and just say settle it down a bit. But maybe Down are a little bit exuberant at the minute, but they have got their mojo back and they are really flying at the minute, and they have got Offaly on the rack all of a sudden with that absolute blitz. But hold on, here comes Gavin Mangan bursting through. Is that an equaliser? It is. She's already made a great contribution in this half. There's another one.
She's a real classy player. The way that she can sidestep players and roll off their shoulders to get a good score there, that was very good effort.
I'm not sure she's playing midfield this half. She seems to have moved to sort of left half in that sort of position, and she's driving forward from there, and she's done really well. And it's 113 to 3-7. So we're 12-13 minutes into the half. It's beautifully balanced, and you just can't predict it. That's one thing for sure, because it's gone one way and then the other, and it could swing again. But at the minute it's Megan Doherty to Keown to 19 Anna Marie McGee from Rostrevor, who has come into the play. I didn't spot her coming on, but she's in there, number 19 for Down, Anna Marie McGee from Rostrevor.
What I'm noticing about this Down forward line is they're moving an awful lot more in this half than they were in the first half.
I think it was maybe coming just from the score as well. It just looks as, at times, doesn't it, when you get a goal and everybody just goes that little bit faster, it seems all of a sudden they do want the ball.
Yeah, it really lifts the team.
Aoife Laverty. Everybody wants it, everybody's getting out in front, and everybody's winning the ball as well, whereas before there were passes going astray and things like that. Now here's Lisa Duffy, the captain, and she wants to get on her left foot. She gets on it and fires it with her left foot, and fires it just to the right and wide. So Lauren Dunn, the goalkeeper for Offaly from the Road Club, where's she going to go with this one? It's the Offaly players now who need to stand up And there's good movement by Tara Dunn. She's from Edenderry, so she's no relation. But it goes the opposite side and it goes over the end line and it just bounces off Orla Duffy's foot, so it'll be an Offaly ball.
Down putting Offaly under a lot of pressure here on their kickouts because they're marking woman to woman, so there's no options.
So Egan goes back to Maher, and it's taken on by the number 17, Michelle Mann. Captain now, Kyo for Offaly. And that's Gavin Mangan again, and she slips it to Roisin Ennis. Another one from the Niamh Kieran club, and this is better from Offaly. Marie Byrne now. She drives through, but she runs into Megan Doherty there, but I fancy she slipped as well just before that, but it's a free in.
Yeah, she did slip there. I think maybe it's the surface a little bit. I don't think Megan did much wrong, but the free was awarded, yeah.
Yeah, someone was telling us the referees are being told to be sharp as well and give fouls for defenders, and the way if they illegal tackling, I think he could come under. So the free, it's not going to drop short. Oh, it just dropped over. You always think those could just drop in under the crossbar, but it goes over from Roisin Egan, and it's Offaly 114 down 3-7, and I fancy the referee will be calling a halt for a minute, and the water break must be imminent. Kim White for Down sensibly holds the ball up.
You can hear good direction from the Down management here, movement and support.
They'll not be happy with that one though. I was just saying that they need to keep possession, and they're being clever and holding possession, and then they give it away, and Offaly are quick to snap and to break free, but there's one on the other side going, and it's been snapped up by the number 27 who's on now. That's Orna Kelly reading the ball well. So at this time in the game, a lot of it is just about mistakes.
Yes, that is, and you don't want to lose a game having made too many mistakes.
So it's keep possession, be clever, be smart, get it to the scorers, get it to Leisha Duffy, and she breaks through. She's only one thing in her mind. She's been playing really well, and she draws a free. She's looked so dangerous in this game, and she's got that mentality when she gets the ball, go forward.
Yeah, she's very confident player, really good on the ball and direct running. And
that's where the free has come from. And there's another change for Down. That looks like a substitute coming in, and I'm trying to see who's gone off. Is it Swale, I think, is maybe being replaced, as Ferris pops it over the bar. That's a change for Down. And there was another of their forwards actually went off a minute or two ago because I noticed that there was a change. I'm trying to spot who came in there for Down. I can see the back. The numbers are quite hard to see in the Down jerseys actually, especially when there's long hair there dropping down as well. But there is a sub. It's possibly 21 for Down. Is it Emer Fitzpatrick possibly? I'll try and confirm that in a minute, but as I say, from this distance it's very hard to see the numbers on the Down jerseys. But we now are at the water break. We can take a breath after all that. That was an exciting quarter, wasn't it? That
was very exciting. Really good play from Down at times there, you know, when they had that bit of a scoring fest. I think, as you said, it's a game of quarters, so it'll be obviously who will come out here and dominate this quarter.
Do you remember about 40 minutes ago I asked you a question and I had to interrupt you? Because there was a goal scored. I was asking you who, I can do it now quickly, who are the best forwards you played against? You mentioned Valerie Mulcahy. Did you get another one even mentioned? It
kind of goes in sections of decades, Jerome, all right? So, you know, when I was, you know, kind of a good footballer, the tough footballers I would have come up against would definitely have been Valerie Mulcahy, Gemma Begley, and Cora Staunton probably to an extent. We would have played Cork a lot, you know, around that time because we were in the first division in the league, and Valerie was always a wee nemesis, and we always had good tussles together. Probably to the latter part of my career, Geraldine Doherty was Geraldine McLaughlin was a real thorn in my side, and Ciara McInnesby as well would have been a tough player.
Different players there. I mean, Cora obviously very strong, but the likes of Valerie could turn in a sixpence. She could go left foot or right foot. She looked to be a nightmare.
She was a nightmare. Yeah. But a lovely girl and get on well with her, so it's fine.
I'm not saying anything about her personality or character. I'm just saying, as a defender, I'm sympathising with you.
Yeah.
Back with the play now. A very exciting situation here, and it's Down who win it, and it's Down who are looking to get a score and maybe go ahead. And it's Ferris. You know, she's gone on her right foot. She's on fire at the minute. She's on form, and she knows where the target is, and she kicks it straight over the bar. You could tell there was only one thing on her mind:
Played it very smart though. She took the extra solo out of it to get into a closer angle to make sure to put that score over the bar. Really important for Down.
Just to confirm, number 21 is in for Down. That's Emer Fitzpatrick from the Burren Club. I saw her score a goal in a league match last year. She knows where the net is, and Down are buzzing. Look at this from the kick out. You can see all over the pitch that they're watching it, they're shouting, they're on it, they want to get it, and that's where you want to be in the last 10 minutes or so off a game, because this is the business end. This is the championship. 48 minutes gone. It's 17 plays 17. No, I've got that wrong. It's 18 plays 17. 3-9. The sums are wrong. 3-9. So that's 18 plays 17. So Down are a point up. And it's Offaly now trying to break, and that's a good ball across the pitch. And Roisin Egan comes looking for it. She's been one of the leaders today, and she's driving forward. And Offaly have very dangerous forwards, and they look good when they're attacking and when they're going at Down and running at them like this with Egan again, and she's combining really well. And Tara Dunn has been exceptional today as well, and so is this girl as well, Amy Gavin Mangan. Now she's running the traffic there, and it's Down who are going to break, and Leisha Duffy is in lots of space, and she's on her left foot, and she fooled them that time because she goes to the right. They were probably expecting her to go left. She'll go left now. She'll go on to her left. It's a dangerous left foot. She'll leave it off to Fitzpatrick, who's just come in. They work it to the scorers. They're trying to get it to Ferris because they know that she is on fire at the minute. She doesn't get it, but she does get a free, and you'd imagine if she recovers from that she would pop it over from there. And it's Down who are motoring well at the minute, but we have another stoppage in play.
Good play from Down there, moving the ball to the big scorers. Natasha was unfortunate there. It was a free. It was a bit of a hard hit there. She was going for her eyes on the ball, so I agree with that decision. And it all
came from the interception down at this end when Mangan was going through, and she just ran into traffic, and they transferred the ball really quickly, and you can tell the game has just really opened up. Yeah,
Down defenders were very patient there, because Offaly have kind of been sidestepping them and getting in between the spaces where Down didn't give them any pockets of space, and they were able to get that ball out.
Interesting there, just we see a shot of Kate McKay, the carried-off player and goalkeeper, way out beyond the 45, having a word with a few players out there, giving a little bit of advice. And we did mention before that she's a former captain, so she's one of the leaders in this Down squad, and she's come in and she's taken the responsibility of playing in goals for this game, and she's obviously a calming influence as well, and she uses her experience.
Very much so. I think she's probably adopted, as what you said, you know, look at it as a role that you have jobs to do that were similar when you did out the pitch.
I thought there was a free actually, but the referee just blew. He must have seen that as an accidental collision, and we're going to restart the game. That's a signal that he is given for the clock to restart, and he throws it in, and Doherty is in there, but she isn't able to get it, but the referee is blown again, and an Offaly player is down, so I'd imagine it's either an Offaly free or another hop.
Yeah, I think it's Amy Galvin Mangan there.
It is, yeah, number 9. Yeah, she's taken a knock there, and I think tense is the word I would use at the minute. It's a little bit quiet here.
It's a wee bit eerie.
A wee bit eerie. There's 10 minutes to go. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? There's not a mad atmosphere here, what you would expect for 10 minutes to go, but it's a game like that. It goes in bursts, this game. You know, it's going for 3 or 4 minutes. It's absolutely crazy, and everything's happening, and one team goes 6 points up, and then the other goes a point up, and then it goes into little lulls as well. I suppose that's just championship football. And it sort of breaks up the momentum. Neither team have really built up a momentum in this. It's a very even game, as you see on the scoreboard, obviously, but just the way the game has gone, one team has taken over and another team has taken over, which means that you just don't know who's going to win this. It's impossible to predict. You would imagine Down to be the slight favourites at this stage because they've a bit of a wind advantage there, but it's not like they've been dominant. I mean, Offaly have a lot of the ball the last 10 minutes since Down really had their little purple patch and scored a goal and then another goal and managed to get ahead. But here come Offaly. They're definitely not finished at all. It's their number 7, and it's Roisin Ennis with a dangerous ball in behind, and it's still dangerous. There's a goal on here. There's a chance for Daly. Oh, brilliant save by McKay. I would have thought that I would have put money on that ending up in the net when Maria Daly is in that sort of position, but Kate McKay stood up. She's in goals today, and that was a heroic effort by her.
Fantastic effort by Offaly there. That was a really, really well taken goal chance, but totally brilliant save by Kate McKay.
Well, you hear a match-winning scores. That could be a match-winning save. Oh, there's a nice ball over the top, and it's reached Anna-Marie McGee from Rostrevor. She gets it to Ferris, and Ferris's high kick drops over the bar, and that could be a very important 60 seconds for Down.
That's a masterclass in shooting from a distance there. Natasha Ferris, fantastic at that, just when your team needs it to settle them down.
I remember last year, I think early stages of the league, she had an incredible scoreline against Sligo or somebody, and she really knows where the posts are. When she's on song, she is unstoppable, and you can see there today in the second half especially, whenever she gets on that right foot, you just know where it's going. And she scored a couple of goals as well. Now, one was a bit of a gift and one was maybe fortunate, but she got the 2 goals. And it's Offaly now who are under the cosh, and it's they who cannot get a score, and that's good defending in there by Kim White, and good challenging as well from the number 17. But Daly's still in there trying to get on the left foot, lashes it to the net. What a game. It goes one way and then the other. 5 or 6 defenders around there. They still couldn't stop Daly, and the daughter of the manager, who's back from 2 ACLs, has fired to the net, and Offaly are alive again.
Fantastic. She made that out of nothing.
2-14 to 3-10. Now my sums aren't good, but let me try and work out. That's 20 plays 19. There's a point in it, and Offaly are 1 point up with 7 or 8 minutes to go. And after a lull a few minutes ago, all of a sudden this place is rocking. Oh, great interception by Amy Gavin Mangan from the Niamh Kieran club. She drives forward, she goes left, she goes right, she goes left again, she comes back, she looks for help, she leaves it off. The down players can't get on the ball, they can't get near them. There's support there from Tara Dunn, and Mangan now spreads the play, and all of a sudden they're finding their players all over the pitch. Now that's intercepted by Keown. Down have it. It's their turn to break, and there's a strong challenge going in there from Daly that's been penalised.
Fantastic work there by Mangan. She comes in and gets ball that she's no right to win. She's been doing that the whole match, but fantastic interception by Aoife Keown there.
It's all got a little bit frantic. It's fast and furious. Down need to calm it down a little bit. Duffy plays it into the forwards towards Fitzpatrick. The ball runs on. She lets it run on. She gets to it. She's got attention there from Emma Corcoran, but she still comes away with it, and that's well blocked. And Offaly now are the team in the ascendancy. They can't do anything wrong, and they're finding it easier. The midfielder Roisin Egan has put in such a shift today. Ferris is there on Orla Whelan, but Whelan manages to get the ball, and it's Egan again. This is brilliant play. Oh, what a super pass. And it's Gavin Mangan again. She's up there in the forwards, and Offaly are playing really, really well the last few minutes, and she's going through. Oh, and she's been intercepted in the end, but I thought she was going to try and go all the way to goal.
I've noticed today on this pitch, sometimes when the players bounce the ball, it bounces away from them a little bit, so that's having a wee bit of an effect here on the keeping possession.
Good point. I mean, I noticed that in the first half when the wind carried it as well. It ran away from players really fast. You had to get it to hand. Down now. What can they do? All of a sudden, they need to respond. Aoife Laverty, 13, gets it to the captain, gets it to Leisha Duffy. She goes past 2 challenges. Oh, lovely dummy solo on the left foot. She goes inside. This is brilliant from the captain, and it's brilliantly blocked out as well. You have to give credit to the defence there, because it looked like Duffy was going to get another score. Now the kick goes astray, but Emma Corcoran there, brilliant play.
Fantastic defending skills there to block a ball in such an important point.
There's a player down, so we're going to have a little bit of a hold up. No, we're not. The referee says play on. It's obviously not a head injury, so we can play on. And the ball is taken by Cara Cunningham, and she gets it to Laverty. That's a super ball, spreading the play. That's really intelligent, because there's a lot more room out there, and it catches Offaly. And Keown goes for it. She kicks, but that was a little bit ambitious, and it's going to drop to the right and wide. We have 1 point in it.
Yeah, Keown had a good option there of Kim White coming running off the shoulder like she had done so in the first half, so maybe she should have played it back to her, recycle the ball and do the, the percentage passing.
So it's Offaly 2-14, down 3-10. But what a goal by Maria Daly there to step up at the vital moment and to get a score. And I'm trying to see who's injured down there. The referee has indicated we can return to the play, and it's the centre half back actually, Dawn Hannon, who is hurt, but she is hobbling on. She's going to keep playing. That ball has broken 4 down, and Anna Marie McGee is there. That's good, lively play from her. She was on the ball and she moved it quickly, and the ball has gone to Ferris, and there's an example of what we were talking about in a minute ago. If the ball beats the player, it goes way over the sideline.
Just skipped away from Natasha Ferris there.
And yet she was in lots of room. It was a good idea.
Yeah, could have been dangerous.
So 1 point in it. We have a bit of a thriller here in Lanlera. 3 minutes to go, but there will be a fair bit added on because we've had a few stoppages. And we don't want this to finish. It's exciting. It's good fun. And there's 2 challenges going in, and it's a free because Cunningham was caught in the sandwich, I think you could say there. And number 5, Tara Dunn, has been spoken to by the referee. Now, we've had no sin bins, but I presume he's telling her you have maybe one more, and if you do one of those you will be in the sin bin.
I have noticed though with refereeing over the last few games that referees have been very good to tell players how many ticks they're on.
Down, 1 point down. Ferris takes this on. Surely she's not going to equalise from there. She does. What a fantastic kick. She took on the responsibility. Just a couple of minutes left from 45 metres out, and it dropped over. She is playing with confidence and she is accurate. All level here in Lanlera. What a game this has been for both teams and for the Intermediate Championship to start it off today. It's the first game on today. We started at 1 o'clock before all the others, and the 2 teams have really delivered. This is super stuff. Ferris now. And you can see the Offaly defenders rounding on her because they know that if she gets on her right foot, she is deadly. She's on her right foot. She kicks again. Oh, that is sensational from Natasha Ferris. Absolutely brilliant. She'd hardly any room in there, but she turned on a sixpence and she put it over from distance, and all of a sudden Down have gone from a point down to 1 up, and it's all about Ferris.
What a display of scoring skills there. Absolutely fantastic.
I'm thinking of some smart comment about Ferris wheels because she's made this game turn from one end to the other, and she scored 2 goals earlier on as well. But hold on, Offaly aren't done yet. Back they come. It's their turn now, and it's their full forward. Aoife Carey in there now. She's been snuffed out in there. That's good defending by Down at the other end. You can hear a lot of screaming from the crowd and from the subs on the sideline. It's all frantic. You need a cool head in there. Kate McKay has a cool head in there, and it's Down now trying to settle things right down because we are in the 59th, 60th minute of the game. It's 3-12 plays 2-14. That's 21 plays 20. Down are a point up. It must be hard to keep your cool when everyone's screaming at you, but that's what's happening out there at the minute. And Down are moving the ball really coolly. This is good play by them. Little bit of composure there. Moving the ball back. Kim White is there. This is really good play by Down. They're just popping the ball around, killing the game a little bit, and there's a nice ball as well. They've moved it into the forward area towards Ferris, and the referee has seen an infringement. What's he given? I fancy it might be a free in. Maybe he spotted something off the ball. Yeah, and it looks like he's penalised. Yeah, he's penalised an Offaly player for pushing off the ball, and it looks, maybe was it a push on Duffy, possibly on Ferris, and it looks like he has given a free in, and Down will be delighted with that, the way Ferris is playing, and it just kills the game a bit.
Oh, very, very good lift for any team when you can see that, you know, someone like Natasha Ferris taking scores from so far out and taking frees like that. I don't
know, I was going to say has she missed it, but of course she hasn't. It just dropped in off the post.
I'm very impressed with Down though. They seem to keep in their shape here very, very well.
Yeah, they were happy enough to get the free. Maybe a little bit fortunate that the referee spotted it, but they deserved it for the way they'd been holding possession.
They did, yeah, they're very disciplined.
61st minute. I still fancy there'd be a good 2 or 3 minutes to go because there were a few stoppages, so plenty of time for Offaly, but not if they give the ball to Down, and that's exactly what they have done here. Cunningham now gets support, and she gets it from McGee, and the referee spots a foul there as well. It's a free for Down, and when you're ahead, point Down, you love a free.
Definitely, because you're in control.
Orla Duffy takes it short. They just want to keep possession, and they get it to Aoife Keown. She's had a terrific game today. She gets it to Laverty, and Laverty sensibly moves it across field and makes sure she picks out a Down player. They work it to Ferris, and Ferris kicks again. Now this time it's gone just wide, and that means there's still a point in it.
Yeah, but at this stage of the game, you know, sometimes they would say it's as good enough as a score because you're wasting a wee bit of time, running the clock down, gives a chance to mark.
Down working really hard in there at the minute to stop the short kick outs. Leisha Duffy, the captain, has been replaced, and it's almost impossible to see the number on the back because it's so far away and it's quite gloomy here, so I'm not quite sure who has come in, but Down have made a substitution right at the end, and there's a kick out that has gone over the line.
That's about Down, the 4th or 5th kick out Laura Dunn has done to this wing. And
it happened in the first half too with Down. It's just playing into the wind, I guess. They're misjudging it. But it's all working nicely for Down, and they get it to Ferris. I can't believe that Offaly have left her in a little bit of room, and she tries to get through a tackle or two, and she draws a free, and this is all playing into Down hands.
Completely right what you're saying there, Jerome. Like, I wouldn't be leaving Natasha Ferris on her own, definitely not.
And the referee having a word, and Natasha just having a bit of a sit down there and having a wee rest there and killing it and taking her time, and she's got every right to do that. I'm trying to see the number in that jersey of the Down player. As I say, it's hard to read them, especially when they're quite a distance away. It's possibly 29, which would be Sarah Doherty from the Bryansford club, who has come into the play. 3:13 to 2:14, 63 minutes gone. 2-point gap. That's even better from a Down point of view. A little bit of a cushion.
Great masterclass in free taking here by Natasha Ferris. I know I've said it already, but it deserves great credit.
Now, what can Offaly do? Lauren Dunn is there, and she goes short, and she goes looking for Annie Keogh, her captain, but look at the pressure on her. Now, she does well to get it, but actually the referee has penalised her. Possibly the ball on the ground or a push, I'm not quite sure. I wasn't able to quite see it from the angle that we have, but she's been penalised, and it is a Down free, and Ferris has it. Now, I've said a few times she'll not score from there, but I'm not going to say it this time.
Well, she's right to have a go at it.
You think she'll have a go from there?
Well, she'll put it dead anyway.
Oh, why not? Why not? The way she's kicking. And is it going to drop over? No, it's off the crossbar, and it was still very dangerous. She hit the black spot. And you were saying about leaving the ball dead. She hasn't done that because it came off the crossbar, and that means that Offaly now all of a sudden are getting up the pitch, and it's 64, nearly in the 65th minute, and Offaly will be looking to try and turn this round. They move it out to the wing, out to this side, to their captain, out to Keogh. Could they possibly find a score in the last minute to level it or even win it?
Well, everybody from Down is behind the ball now, you can see.
Yeah, every single player in their own half. The scream is everybody mark up, and they're outnumbering them there. I mean, there's a lot of Offaly players down to the left. They may as well come up because the game's nearly over and have a go. We're in the 65th minute. They work it back to the captain, to Keogh. They work it to Roisin Ennis. Can Offaly pull this one out of the fire? And there's a tackle by Ferris. That's a dangerous one, and the referee will definitely take that one. But Offaly don't want a hold up. They want to go. They want to get on with it. Roisin Egan now, that's a super ball to Gavin Mangan. She takes it in her stride brilliantly. Is she going to save the day? She gives it to Kerry, and Kerry blasts it, and it goes wide. Credit to the defending, but you reckon that was probably Offaly's chance?
Definitely was their chance. Amy Mangan there, fantastic work. She's really good at sidestepping and jinking players. Just unfortunate they couldn't get a score there.
Good pressure by, I think it was Anna-Marie McGee there on her. Actually, no, it was 17. It was Amy Green, actually. I hope I haven't been getting that wrong. There's the final whistle, and it's a 1-point victory for Down. A brilliant victory for them in the championship. A great start to the year for them, but what a battle it was. It was a real seesaw battle. In the end, they have got through, and out on the field there, you can see them celebrating, and there is surely, I'm not trying to put words in the mouth of the co-commentator who's the expert here, but Natasha Ferris surely is in the running, at least for player of the match. Her goals and points were crucial. It wasn't by any means a one-woman performance, but she was fabulous.
I have to pick up on what you say there. It was a definite battle. Really, really good display of competitive football by two great ladies teams here. Shows you that intermediate football is really, really competitive, and it was a really good display. Some of the players that I thought really shone today: Megan Doherty, Aoife Keown. I mean, she does tireless work. She never ever stops. But Natasha Ferris, undoubtedly, I mean, changed the game completely. Her free taking ability, her scores from outside the D. She is so hard to mark. Played really, really well. Look, Offaly had really good performances as well. Amy Mangan was very, very good. Maria Daly,
the goalkeeper. But
their goalkeeper, yeah, as well. Must mention her. You know, I mean, to come in to do that position is not easy. You know, we try to play it down and try to say, oh well, it's, you know, it's like any other position. She did really, really well there. She led. You know, you can see she's obviously getting a lot of praise for that from her coach, undeservedly so. The save that she made, fantastic.
Well, at that point the game was in the melting pot, and Maria Daly was going through. Now Maria did get a goal, but it was a great save, and it lifted the Down team as well, and they would straight up and got a goal at the other end, and then another one quickly followed. Just to give someone a bit of credit, I was mentioning Anna-Marie McGee a lot, but I think I was maybe getting her mixed up with 17, and 17 was Amy Green who came on, and she forced that wide right at the end of the game, which was absolutely crucial.
what was very impressive about Down there is they never gave up. You know, they might have been 1 point ahead, 2 points ahead, and they could have rested on their laurels a little bit there. But, you know, she got a ball there, maybe she had no right to win, so it was really good defending skills there. You could see how much it meant to Down. You know, they're really, really ecstatic about that win, worked hard for it. There'll be lots of things, yeah, they can work on, because they had lulls in lots of quarters of the game there, but, you know, on the whole, they grinded out.
So no question, player of the match, Natasha Ferris?
Yes, Natasha Ferris, fantastic.
I'm glad we agreed upon that. Offaly played really well though, and you know, in patches I think is fair to say, and you'd feel that, you know, they'll give Louth a heck of a game in a couple of weeks when they play them. So it's a 3-team group, so Down played Louth next Sunday, and then the Sunday after Offaly against Louth. But Offaly can go away from this, and I'm sure they could take a lot of encouragement from it.
Oh, they definitely will. Like, I mean, Down are a fantastic outfit. They had to raise their game today, and they showed that they could do that. A few wee things that they could work on, but look, you know, as long as you have something to work on, you can always build from there.
Absolutely. Okay, Kiva Morgan, thanks a million for being with us. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream today. We've certainly enjoyed the game. It was an absolute thriller. It's ended in victory for Down from Lanlera in County Louth. It's goodbye.